The starter is presented by Lomonaco in New York. It features roasted oysters topped with a wild mushroom, cremini, morels, and chanterelles, and pancetta ragu. Then Jean-Louis Palladin presents a main course from Las Vegas. Rounds of foie gras are coated in breadcrumbs, sautéed lightly, and served with a citrus raisin sauce. Finally, Thaddeus DuBois' dessert stars the famed Austrian pancake called Kaiser Schmarren. It's served with a compote of black plums flavored with Kirschwasser. Michael Lomonaco is one of New York's more visible chefs. He's extremely media savvy. Not only is he at home on TV, he is a gifted teacher as well. Moreover, he is adroit at translating restaurant dishes to the home cook. A good example is what he calls surf and turf, roasted oysters with wild mushrooms.
First, we'll start with the pancetta, which is Italian-style bacon. It's unsmoked. It's been rolled. Into this roll, it's seasoned with salt. So because it's so well seasoned with salt, what I like to do is take the pancetta, cut a slice off. Usually has some wrapping on it like this one does, so we'll remove that. And I'm going to blanch this in boiling water.
The pancetta is diced before blanching. It's blanched for about 20 seconds.
No need to cool that down. It's not necessary to ice that. Don't rinse it. Just remove it from the water. I'm using cremini mushrooms, chanterelle, and morels. The morels were dried morels that I soaked in hot water for about a half an hour. Cleaned them well and then soaked them in hot water to rehydrate them.
The mushrooms are sliced, beginning with the cremini.
Any dirt or pine needles, and then we can just tear them by hand. Cut off the very bottom if necessary. A little bit will go a long way in this dish. The chanterelles and the morels are quite expensive. The creminis add a rich flavor.
The morels are sliced into rings. The diced pancetta is sautéed first.
Just about a tablespoon of butter. To this we'll add our mushrooms, beginning with our cremini mushrooms. You can cook the mushrooms separately and remove them and then combine them at the end. Or you can cook them together if you add them in stages. So that you put the one that needs the most cooking time, like the cremini, put that in first.
The chanterelles are cooked second.
And finally, our morels. As they've been sautéed for a few minutes, then we'll add some dried vermouth. Let that cook off. While that's reducing, before we add anything else, take a look at our oysters. I'm using Wellfleets, or I can use Blue Points, or I can use really any oyster I like. I like the Wellfleets. They have a good, solid bottom, hold lots of natural juices, and I'm just going to roast those open in a hot oven, a 425-degree oven. This is rock salt, not edible, but intended for the culinary use, like the same kind of rock salt when you in old-fashioned ice cream makers. And all I'm doing is using that as a bed. That'll absorb heat and retain the heat to help the oysters open. And I've got these oysters very well washed.
The oysters are placed in a hot oven until opened.
And while they're roasting, we finish our ragu. Add some shallots. Now some chicken stock. We're going to let that reduce. By the time that's finished reducing, our oysters should be just about done, and we'll be ready to finish our ragu.
The ragu is finished with pepper and cream.
And some heavy cream. Have a variety of herbs that you could use. I'm going to use some chives, some fresh lemon thyme. Tarragon would also be really nice. You can use an oyster knife to loosen any shells that have not quite opened. You want to cook them just till they open. Try and retain any juices, the natural juices. Don't want to overcook the oysters. They're a little hot, but they can still be handled.
Dollops of mashed potatoes serve as anchors for the oysters.
We want our mushrooms and our pancetta ragu just to have all of the wonderful character and flavor of those things to add to the really the lusciousness of freshly roasted oysters. And by the way, these oysters can be cooked on an outdoor grill, and that is a treat in itself. And this ragu, quite a little bit of surf and turf. Roasted oysters with wild mushroom and pancetta ragu.
The executive chef at Napa in the Rio Suite Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas is Jean-Louis Palladin. In addition, he also has a namesake restaurant in New York City. His cooking style at Napa has been described as country French, like this foie gras crusted in Panettone breadcrumbs with citrus sauce. Incidentally, the foie gras used in this dish was pre-cooked in a 350-degree oven, then refrigerated.
I want to take some honey, just a little bit of honey.
The chef starts with the sauce.
On a pan. I want to take the grape, that's the base of the sauce. I'm going to take orange juice and lemon juice. Just trying to reproduce the taste of the panettone.
Panettone is an Italian bread prized by the chef. It's sort of a citrus-infused Italian raisin bread.
And I got a stock. I got a stock here with a veal stock we're going to make the sauce. That's the sauterne.
Foie gras is prepped.
And with a cookie cutter, cut some round. And you keep the foie gras because you're going to use for something else. You never trash anything. Okay, here I got the sauce going. I want to taste it to see if I got everything I want inside. Okay. I'm taking the foie gras, plunging into the egg. I'm gonna do it 2 or 3 times. The same thing, just bread it with the egg.
These are fine Panettone crumbs.
bread it. I'm going to bread it a second time. And you make sure you have egg all over the piece of foie gras.
Veal stock is added.
Going to let it reduce for about 5-6 minutes and strain it. It's a new recipe. That's the first time I'm doing it. And just all that because I love Panettone bread. Okay, now it's ready. 5-6 minutes later, I got the sauce ready. Going to strain it. And what I want to take out all the taste from the grape. I'm pressing very hard.
The chef says that in developing this sauce, he has tried to mirror the flavor of Panettone bread.
Now the sauce is finished. I'm going to add some raisin in it as a garnish. And I'm going to add some confit lemon and confit orange. We're going to reproduce the taste of the panettone.
The rounds are cooked in foie gras fat.
What you want? You want to give a beautiful color on the foie gras. Okay. See the color? Beautiful color. That's what you want. Maybe a little bit more of that fat. What you want to add now is just a little bit of salt, little bit of pepper. I don't want any fat at all because the foie gras already lost all its fat when you cook it in the terrine. Here you have a beautiful color. Here's the foie gras on a plate. I got the sauce with the 2 raisins. And that's what you have.
The executive pastry chef at Beau Rivage Resort in Biloxi, Mississippi, is Thaddeus DuBois. As is often true with big casino operations, he must oversee pastry from breakfast items to chocolates, soufflés, wedding cakes, and fancy sugar work. Here is his rendition of Kaiser Schmarren pancake.
Today I'm going to make a Kaiser Schmarren. It's a traditional Austrian dessert, and it starts with a plum roster. And a plum roster is just a plum compote. And I've quartered these black plums, and I'm going to do one here quickly. Black plums are nice because the skin is real colorful, and you'll see the compote will have a really nice, brilliant color. A little bit of lemon juice, some sugar, and 1 cinnamon stick, and just about 1 ounce of water, just to start the plums cooking. This will take about 10 minutes until it's finished. The plums will extrude a lot of juice, and you get a really brilliant color from the skins of the plum. Just keep it on high heat. And at the end, we'll add the Kirschwasser, which is a cherry liqueur. This is the plum roster in its finished state, and you can really see the brilliant color that's produced from the black skins of the plum. You can use red plums as well, and that'll produce a more red color. And you want to keep this warm for the final presentation of the dessert. Okay, this is the plum roster. I'm going to add the kirsch at the very end here. Just about 2 teaspoons. You want to mix that in. And that gives a nice finished flavor. And the reason I don't put it in the beginning is the cooking process will evaporate the flavor out.
The pancake is started with egg yolks.
We're going to add the sugar to that. Just whisk them up nice, get a little pale in color. Okay, I have a little bit of salt here, half a teaspoon. A little bit of kirsch, half a teaspoon. And we're going to add the cake flour, sifted cake flour, okay, 4 ounces. Okay, just mix that together. It's much like a souffle. This is the base, and then you're going to fold egg whites into it. Instead of making a souffle, we're going to make a pancake out of it. Okay, now I'm going to add the milk. That's the last thing here. Add part of the milk, and then we'll add the rest of it. Don't be afraid, there may be a little lumps in it, it's no problem. It's typical of this batter. Just 1 whisk here. Okay. That's ready now. Now we're going to whip the whites. While that's mixing, I'm going to add some butter to the skillet. I have a non-stick skillet. It's important because you don't want this to stick, okay? This is an 8-inch. You can use a 12-inch. That works fine here. I'm just going to put a little butter into it. There's your whipped whites, okay? I think it's easier. I'm going to mix this into the whites, okay? And we're going to add some of it first. That way it'll soften up the whites. And then we'll add the remaining. We'll just put it into the pan. Put it about a ½ inch thick, okay? I'm going to brown this side, and I'm going to put it in the oven, finish it in the oven. Then I'll bring it out of the oven, flip it over, and brown the second side. And then we're ready for presentation. The pancake I just took out of the oven, you can see it's very fluffy, okay? Now we're going to flip it over just so we can brown the second side. And what I do is I just take a spatula and grab it with my hands and simply flip it over. You can see the nice brown color we achieved. You need to, it's important you do it on the stove in the skillet first, you finish it in the oven, you flip it over and finish the second side. That way you get brown on both sides and the center is done. The reason I can't finish it on the stove is the center, or the bottom will burn before the center is done. Okay, so you have to finish it in the oven. Traditionally, they just shredded it with their hands and just broken up. I like to slice it. It looks a little more nice. You can just do strips. So I'll ladle some of this into the bowl. Just make sure the compote is just slightly warm. Doesn't have to be piping hot. Just kind of randomly put them on top here.
Final garnishes include tuile cookies and pecan praline ice cream.
Put that right on top of the pancake. Okay. I have the tuile here. You can just kind of put that in there. I like to garnish this with a purple edible flower because I think it really brings the color of the compote to the top of the dish, and you can just stick that in the ice cream. And there you are, Kaiser Schmarren.